I look at it as, like you said before, it's still me. I'm the one still doing the work and have to make the choices. This is a tool that's helping me shift my brain. I think we get into a position where we get so locked and so stuck from like our trauma and our triggers, and don't even get me started on childhood shit, and our brain forms in this way and then it gets like stuck there. And we try therapy, and we do all the things and we try to eat good and work out. And those are things that are super important, but there's some things that will just stay stuck unless you really dive in. And I feel like microdosing and what this has offered me, it's a way to like take that ball of like, this is just the way my brain is. And it's like, it's unraveling it.
Welcome to the Bomb Life Podcast, where fitness, mindset, and real talk collide. This isn't just about workouts. It's about transforming your body, mind, and life. Get ready for unfiltered conversations, expert advice, and the motivation you need to level up in every way. Hey everyone, welcome to the Bomb Life Podcast. I am Melissa Vogel, your host. Welcome to the show. Oh my God, it feels so good to be into April, doesn't it? I hope no matter where you live, you're starting to get a taste of the warmer weather. It is such a busy time for the fitness industry. At least it is for me and what I do, because everyone's like waking up. It's like, oh my God, it was 60 plus degrees out, which means summer's right around the corner. And then everyone wakes up and they kind of freak out and they're like, oh my God, I'm not bathing suit ready. So it's very, very busy, which I understand. I totally get it. And I used to live that life, but you know me and my big mission, I don't ever want people to live by the seasons. I don't think it's a way to live. I think it's too much of a roller coaster. It goes up and down and all around. And when do you get off of that roller coaster? When do you actually wake up and say, okay, I'm going to be fit in the middle of summer. I'm going to be fit in the middle of spring. I'm going to work on myself in the middle of the holidays. When does that happen? And that's my mission. So busy time, helping people through that. If you're someone who is kind of like, oh my God, that's me. She's describing me. That's who I am. Book a call with me. I'm going to put a link, as always, in the show notes for you to book a discovery call with me. I give you guys access. Now, I don't have a whole lot of open slots on my calendar. I do what I can right now because, I am running the podcast, a home, one-on-one coaching, my program, Busy to Bomb. I'm running a lot of things, but I do keep some slots open to talk with people. So take one of those if they're available. But I'm here to help you guys dive in whenever I can. You can also message me on Instagram. I'm on there a lot, and it's easy to go back and forth with voice memo. I've been doing that a lot lately with people and just kind of voice memoing back and forth and coming up with a game plan or deciding how we're going to move forward, what people look like. That's easy. That's fun and easy to do. But I just don't want anyone feeling stuck, and I don't want anyone feeling like, that's not for me, or the big one, I could never afford that. You don't know. Don't write stories before you've even had the discussion. And can you afford not to? That's always my question. Can you afford to not do anything? Some people might be able to answer that question and be like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I actually could afford to not to because I've done the work before in the past and I know what I'm doing. And then other people might answer that question and go, no, honestly, I don't know what my shitty health right now is going to cost me in my future. There's always questions to be asked. There's always data to be gathered. Today's episode is going to be another tool in your toolbox. You guys are going to be excited about this one. When this episode is done, you're going to be like, oh, yes. Oh my God, I want to do this. So today we're talking about microdosing. Now, we've had previous guests on. We have talked about this before, but it has been a hot second. And I'm bringing this up because do you guys remember me talking about going on that retreat back in, God, was that February? I think that was February or March. Oh my God, I literally can't even remember right now. I think it was February. I went on that retreat and it was just life-changing. And my eyes were just opened up so much to plant-based medicine. I mean, I've known about it. We've talked about it, but again, I felt like probably you and like a listener of like, okay, I have this information, but like, what do I do with it? How do I apply it to my life? And where do I go from here? And who do I trust, with this? And that's kind of how I felt. But at this retreat, we got introduced to a company called Mosaic. and it's a social wellness club. So, and I'm going to tell you more about it, but it's a quote unquote social wellness club. And they dive into microdosing, and they gave us products at the retreat to sample, and they gave us like a box to take home and help us, as we come home and transitioning home from that retreat, because it was crazy. It was amazing. It was so amazing. My life changed after that. Everything changed after that retreat. And that's how I got introduced to this company. And it's all about microdosing. And if you don't know anything about microdosing, we're talking about mushrooms here. And I wanted to know more. I definitely wanted to dive into this. I wanted to know more. I wanted a company that I could work with and trust, and Mosaic was it. So I reached out to the owner, Blake Mason, who is our guest today, and I'm like, okay, tell me about it. Because in order to work with them, you have to set up a call with them. So just like me, I'm like, yeah, no, I totally get it. I get why you do this. And so I set up a call with Blake, and I'm like, okay, fill me in. I know a little bit about it. I went on that retreat. This is where I'm at. And we did a whole discovery call. He gave me information, told me about the company, told me about what they do, told me about their blends, like everything. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And I need someone that I can work with and trust. And then I need someone that I can trust to pass on to my clients and you guys, my listeners and my followers. I'm like, I'm not gonna work with someone that I don't trust or wouldn't personally do or take. Now, when we started this episode, I was not dosing daily. And since this episode, I think since we recorded, because we recorded this a few weeks ago, I have been using their product daily. And I cannot tell you how much it has changed my life. And you're going to learn what exactly microdosing is in this episode. I have been through, I feel like, the ringer. I feel like I've been through, oh my God, I'm actually getting emotional right now. And if you are a client of mine or a good friend and you're listening to this, you're probably getting choked up too, because you know what I've been through. And one day I will share my story. So I don't mean to be all secretive and covert about it. I will share my story on this podcast one day, or maybe another podcast. But I think microdosing and the timing of everything of that retreat, me getting introduced to Blake, me getting introduced to this amazing company, me getting introduced to what functional mushrooms are, I think it saved me. I literally think it saved my life. I believe in timing and divine timing and everything. We talked about that in, last week's episode on angels and that conversation. And it's everything lines up. And when you can take a step back and look and go, holy crap. That's why that happened then. That's why this happened now. Okay, I get it. I'm listening, universe. Okay, I see the timing of all this. And when I started functional mushrooms and microdosing, it was exactly when I needed to, because it got me through these last 4 weeks of pure hell that I've been living. Again, I will share. I don't mean to be all oh my God, what happened to Melissa? Nothing, I'm fine. But it's just been really rough. And this has really, really been helping me. I would never talk about a product and give it this much praise or credit or say it helped me this much if I wasn't personally using it. So know and trust. I know you guys know that. You know that I don't bring you anything that I can't put my name behind, and this I can. And I have been waiting for this episode ever since we recorded it to come out. So we will put a link to the way to book a call with Blake to dive in, get more information, websites, everything, so you guys can keep learning more. But I had to share that in my intro today, because actually this isn't even the original introduction that I had recorded for this episode. I'm literally recording it. It's Tuesday and this episode comes out Thursday. That's how fresh this is right now. And I was like, you know what? It needs a new one. I need to be truthful. I need to talk about my experience with this before everyone listens. And I want you to get excited. And I know everyone's going to say oh my God, do you feel it? Do you feel high? Do you feel stoned? No. And we're going to explain this in the episode too. It's you go outside for the first time and you go, holy shit, the sky is blue. Oh my God, I can feel the grass beneath my feet. Wow. You know what? I can make it through this. You know what? This is possible. I can't explain it. So you're going to learn more. You're definitely going to learn more. But today's guest, it is Blake Mason, and he is the visionary and co-founder of Mosaic. It's a social wellness club that's redefining self-care by blending the power of functional mushrooms with intentional, community-driven experiences. And with a background in tech sales and a deep passion for holistic well-being, Blake and his wife, they launched Mosaic with a mission to help people unlock their full potential, physical, mentally, and spiritually. And Blake is also the co-founder of Goodness, and they are the creators of, I think I'm saying this right, Kana Mints, which is a natural mood-boosting, heart-opening alternative to alcohol that's helping people reconnect and find balance in their daily lives. I too have these mints, and you take 1, 2, 3, it tells you how many you need, and it's just, again, a heart opener and like, okay, I can get through this. And in this episode, Blake dives into the world of microdosing, plant medicine, and fatherhood, and sharing how functional mushrooms are not only transforming wellness routines, but also deepening relationships, especially in the journey of becoming a better parent and partner. So if you guys have been curious about microdosing or you're looking for natural ways to alleviate your mindset and your life, this conversation is packed with real talk, expert insights, and just inspiration. So, as always, you guys, check out the show notes. Please rate and review this podcast. As you guys know, we've changed platforms, and every rating and review is so helpful. 5 stars if you feel appropriate. That would be amazing. And I'm here to help. Blake is here to help. We're here to help you just fill your toolbox. It's worth it. You're worth it. All right, enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the Bomb Life podcast. Today we have Blake Mason on the show. Welcome to the show, Blake.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm really excited about this discussion today. Are you excited or are you nervous?
I'm very excited. No,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of nerves, but I'm always excited to chat with anybody. So
Yay. Okay, so you guys, I have to lay the foundation for you first and how and why Blake is on this show. So I talked about it, I think a few episodes ago, and I was sharing, and I shared on social media and stuff that I went on this retreat, and it was called a Wake Her Up Retreat with Marcella Hill. Love her. She is like my sister from another mister. And we did a lot of plant-based stuff on this retreat. It was very awakening. It was an amazing experience. And before we left, I got this little gift package from a company called Mosaic. Well, that company is Blake and his wife's company. And it had great information in it. It had products in this for us to try and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And I just kind of put it away. Didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh, I'm sure I'll learn more about it on the retreat. And then I had just mind-blowing experiences on the retreat. And they're like, to keep this going and to get you on the right path, when you get home from the retreat, go to that little box that you got. It will help you adjust being back home. It'll help you with how awakened you were. I feel like I'm talking in code right now. We did shrooms, you guys. We did shrooms. Yeah. And I went back and opened that little kit and we were able to microdose. They sent us samples and I was able to microdose and keep that going. Now, I would consider myself a very like straight-laced person. You know, like I have conversations with people and I'm like, I hardly drink. I don't really smoke weed. So talking to me about shrooms, I'm like, what? This is fucking crazy. No, thank you, but no. I was changed. And I got on the phone. When you work with Mosaic, you get on the phone with Blake or his wife and you learn more about this wellness company. And if you're a fit and answer questions and stuff. And when we were done, I was like, hey, Blake, you want to come on the podcast? Because this was a really good conversation. I wish we would have hit record then. So that's how I found Blake. And I'm like, you need to come on and we need to talk about this more.
Well, I'm really happy to be here and excited to dive in a little bit deeper and actually record it.
Yes, yes. So, okay, Mosaic, whole wellness company, supports
Yeah.
people. How would you say it? It's a company that what? Like, how would you fill in that blank?
So we deem ourselves a social wellness club because it is all online. You come to us, you sign up for a subscription, you can cancel the subscription at any time. But ultimately, you get access to our portal. We have a ton of information on adaptogenic plants, mushrooms. We have local events and like kind of the hot pockets of places where we have a lot of customers. We can help you book retreats, point you in the direction of retreats of like vetted individuals. I know that there's a lot of people popping up right now. We're not vetting every single person, but the really good people that we've came across, we like to just shout them out, point you in the direction if you're looking to do a mushroom journey, if you're looking to get into ayahuasca. let's get you to the right people that are, I don't know, like just very ethical, that are going to do the integration work. It's easy to go
Right.
to a retreat and do the medicine. It's hard to integrate and work it back into your daily life.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then with that, you get a nice little wellness box, and that's what you got a sample of. So our wellness box, we have 4 different supplements that we offer. You can kind of pick and choose based on your tier of subscription, but we have a microdose it's our enlightenment capsule that is either in 50, 100, or 200 milligram offerings. And then we
Uh-huh.
have functional mushrooms that you can find at like your local farmer's market: reishi, turkey tail, and lion's mane. So you can pick and choose. Got some stuff for the body and kind of relaxing, and then we've got stuff for the brain and boosting that cognitive functionality.
I love it. Oh, and in my order, I got this little thing of mints. Are they called
Yeah.
happiness mints or joy mints?
So they're moments right now. We are actually in the process of rebranding. So we kind of did all of our beta testing through Mosaic. So the website's going to be get-goodness.com. The new brand is going to be Goodness. It's Kana and Guarana. So 100% all natural mood boosting mint. They're incredible. I like to think of them
Uh,
like, I'm a parent of 2, so it's like this just extends the fuse. It's really popular in like the sober community where people want to have like they want to have something that like will allow them to be social but
yes.
not give you a hangover. So you can take them throughout the night. It's still like in a microdosing form, if you will, but you can take 1 or 2 at a time, and you can take them kind of throughout the evening, and you're never gonna like have a psychedelic experience. It's gonna be very, very chill. Like I said, it's a
Yeah.
social happiness mint. Really nice.
Yeah. Okay. So this past week, I'm not even joking, like probably the worst week of my life. Just everything hit me at once, things that I couldn't control,
Yeah,
and life. Like, I think I cried more last week than I have in the last year. I'm not even kidding you.
yeah,
And I was in my bathroom and I put them in there. And on like day 2 or 3, where I was like, am I going to make it through? I put it in my makeup bag for some reason. And I'm like, oh my God. And I took 2 of them, just like, boom, I'm taking 2. Cause on the
yeah,
box, it shows like, if you take 1, this is how you feel. If you take 2, this is how you're going to feel. And I'm
yeah,
like, fuck it, I'm taking 2. And it did. It just brought me to a level of like
yeah,
woosah. And then I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm good. I'm good. It didn't like make me high or stoned, but I
yeah.
felt this like presence over me that was like, okay.
It's really hard to
Okay.
explain because people want to feel.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to, what am I going to
Yes.
feel? And with
Yes.
our mints, especially, it's like you don't really feel anything. When we were going through all the testing, my daughter was going through like a massive sleep regression, and I was testing them at night, putting her to bed. And sometimes those bedtime routines were taking 2 hours. And it's like, I noticed when my wife was like, well, what do you feel? And it's like, I don't feel anything. But I also didn't care that I just read 7 books and had to redo the blankets 10 times and then had to tie her hair up in a ponytail another 5 times. And it was just like, whatever, like, we're going to get through it. There was no stress of like, I still have work to do. I have this to do. It's like, we're going to get through it. And I'd rather just sit here with an open heart than, and like give her love than give her like put more stress on her and something that she
Oh,
doesn't even know what's happening. So Kana itself is a heart opener. So you're kind of
okay.
leading with the heart more so than anything else. And the guarana is going to give you a little bit of a natural energy boost. So those
Okay.
two paired together, it's like I've got the energy that I'm not going to be all sleepy, but I'm also just going to be kind of like I can chill, but not really feel
Right.
inebriated. Yeah.
Every mom like running to the show notes right now to order.
Yeah. Well, it's
Listening to
funny
this.
because our company's called Mosaic, right? And I was like, ooh, we're selling mints. We are creating moments. Let's create moments. And
I
everybody that
love
sees the
that.
package is like, these are mom mints, right? Because it looks like mom mints. And
I
I'm
know
like,
it does. Yeah.
I guess it kind of like it worked itself out, right?
Right.
Mom mints. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I feel like we got a little off track with the mints, but it's
Yeah.
fine. It was important and I needed to bring that up too.
It's part of
Okay,
Mosaic as well. So yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all together. Okay, so I have to know, how did this become something that you guys like started a business from? Like, how did this become like Blake, and what's your wife's name again? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Gabby. My wife's name is
Gabby.
Gabby.
How
Yeah.
did you and Gabby be like, dude, we're gonna start this social wellness company?
Probably like the most organic way possible. About 7, 8 years ago, I was just drinking a ton, kind of lost, didn't, I wasn't happy with my work. I wasn't happy. I have a degree in sales and started in the tech sector. And I just wasn't happy. I didn't feel fulfilled. And I've always been homeopathic. So I don't even take Advil. It's just a lot of very homeopathic remedies and whatnot. I heard a TED talk with Paul Stamets about microdosing, and I felt really depressed. And I was like, I'm not going to go to the doctor and get on some antidepressant because I know that that's just going to mess me up even more. Luckily, heard the TED talk with Paul Stamets, and it was all about microdosing and how it can help reduce anxiety, reduce depression, and all these positive benefits. So I looked around, took a little bit of time, but finally found a full bag of mushrooms, and I was just breaking pieces off. And I had no idea what I was doing, just not weighing
Right.
anything. And after about 40 days, I felt like what I consider like high school happy, like when you graduate high school and it's like, I can go, I'm going to
Yeah.
change the world. I'm going to
Yeah.
do everything that I'm out of my parents' house. I can go do anything. So I felt that again. And that was like the first time in a long time. And then I ran out of mushrooms, couldn't find them.
So you were kind of
Found them.
like microdosing then, like
Yeah, it was
you didn't
microdosing,
really,
but just like not really weighing anything out. I was breaking
right,
a
not
little
very
piece off.
smart. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then I noticed like the lull kind of come back, and then ended up finding another package of them and felt it again. And I was like, well, there's something to this. And I was living in a one-bedroom apartment at the time, and I just told my wife, my now wife, girlfriend at the time, like when we move, like I want to try to grow these myself. And I grew a shit ton. I grew a whole bunch of them by accident, and I just started bringing them to parties. And at this time, I'm making capsules like on my kitchen table. My goal is I never want to babysit anybody. I want people to have a really good time and see like feel what I'm feeling.
Mm,
So I started making capsules, and it's like, hey, just take one of these, just take two of these. And I noticed as we went to parties and stuff with our friends, people are not drinking. The conversations were a lot more open and a lot more like love. And it's like everybody's smiling, like laying in the sun rather than like drinking and kind of
getting
being
shit
sloppy and a
faced.
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then my wife told me that I was running a charity because it was a lot of just like giving them to people. And from there, I created like these little black jars and just put a sticker on them and tried to get them to people. And finally, my wife jumped in and she was like, "We need to, like, your branding's awful." And she made it really pretty. And we came up with Mosaic. She made the branding like just absolutely beautiful and approachable, not like a masculine black jar that was
Mhm.
just mushrooms, you know?
Were you
So
guys married to and like as a couple yet, or were you still dating and this was like young, early?
This is about 4 years ago. I would say I've been growing for about 6, 7 years, and
Okay.
then Mosaic, like, the actual branding started probably 2 years ago, and then the actual website went live last January. So,
Wow.
Mosaic itself is very new, but, like, the
Yeah.
our experience in the psychedelic world has been here for, like,
Mhm.
6 yeah, 6 years or
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, so super organic. It's like we didn't really know what we were doing. It's like all scaling inside, and it's our house quickly turned into like we've got package stickers all over the place. Where are we going to put these jars? Where are we going to put the boxes? Where are we going to do this? How are we going to start bringing people in? Because it's all referral based, as you had mentioned earlier. You have to take a call with us, and the goal is like really is we don't want to send people out like, hey, here's a chocolate bar. Have fun. You might freak out. You might go to work and wish you weren't there. You might go to your kid's baseball game and not be able to talk to the parents. That's not our goal. We want to talk to people. We want to get people comfortable with what's happening and this new change that they're probably going to be like going through.
Yeah. And my first, like, not experience, I guess that I saw it or like heard anything about it was in the movies. Do you remember the movie Knocked Up?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
him and the buddy go to Vegas, they're like, let's do
yeah,
some shrooms. And then they're like, they're turning on me. And then
yeah,
they're in the hotel room and they're freaking out. And I was like, oh God, can like,
yeah,
that's what it's like. Okay, that's what happens. And over, just educating myself, I guess more just very recently, I'm like, wow, that's not what has to happen. That's not true.
yeah. If you want it to happen, you can get there.
Oh
But
yeah.
but the goal of
Yeah.
microdosing is not to get anywhere close to that.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, is
yeah,
microdosing.
definitely.
We've talked about microdosing. We had Jeremy, oh God, I can't remember his last name right now, but it's been a while. It's been a long
Mhm.
time since we've talked about it on this podcast. And when we started that, or when that launched, went live, I had a lot of people that responded and were just like, huh, that's interesting. Oh, really good episode. People like took the information and they were like, microdosing. Okay. Huh, I didn't know that, Melissa. That's like, it was just like this
Yeah.
common theme. And I'm like, yeah, cool, right? And
Yeah.
like, awesome. And then it just kind of like went to the wayside. And I would learn more about it and I would just be like, I mean, that sounds cool because I really saw how it was helping people with anxiety and depression and PTSD and just moms that like can't heal and people from trauma and just can't get over that hump. Like you said, feeling just like
Yeah.
depressed and just not enjoying life to its fullest. And we
Yeah.
all know what that's like. And that episode really opened my eyes to it. And I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. And
Yeah.
then I feel like going on this retreat and then getting introduced to you guys, I was like, oh my God, I finally have a way now to do this in a safe way and with a company that I trust. And
Yeah.
ooh, and I'm going to say right now, I have been microdosing for, I don't know, whenever we talked for a couple weeks now. And
Mhm.
I've been following the protocol. 3 days I take it, just 50 milligrams. I haven't tried 100 yet. And then I take
Yeah.
2 days off. I like the protocol. And I know you said I can play with that too, if I need to
Yeah.
change it. And I tell you, on the days off, I'm kind of like, I don't want to take a day off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know people are probably wondering, like, well, what do you feel? Like, what is it like? And I just got to say, like, I think maybe you said this on our call or someone else said it. It's like you go outside and you're like, I know the sky is blue. But then when you're microdosing, you go outside and you're like, wow, that's really blue. What a great
Yeah.
sky we have. That's like it, like
Yeah.
it's been getting me through things a little bit different and moving forward a little bit different. And one thing I don't know if I've talked about a whole lot on this show, but I shared with you a lot, like morning depression and anxiety is a real thing for me. And Blake,
Mhm.
ever since I started, my mornings are completely different, even more. Like they were different from the
That's
retreat.
awesome. Yeah. I remember you saying that on our call. So I'm really glad to hear that. That's great.
Yeah. And like, because it was bad. I'm very open on this podcast. And I would like wake my eyes and be like, I don't want to fucking be here. This
Mhm.
is like, what am I doing? How am I going to do this? How am I going to manage this? Everyone needs something from me. How am I going to do it? And it was really hard to get my day started. And now I just feel like dark clouds have just been moved from my
Yeah.
life. Is this
Yeah.
normal? Is this what people
Uh,
feel?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I've been in that same place. I mean, I can really relate to that. If you want to be like completely open, honest, it's like I had a lot of those feelings. And I remember when my wife told me that she was pregnant, I had done my first journey, but I was like terrified. She told me, and we have it on video. It's really, really funny. I buried my hands in my head. Oh my God, what's happening? What am I going to do? I can't even parent myself.
Right.
And
Yeah.
microdosing and just like I think one thing that kind of like a little derail here, I think what people need to understand is these are just tools. You have all of this stuff inside you.
Yes.
These are
Good point.
tools and levers that you can pull to like feel a little bit more and understand that those are there. It's like you go on that retreat and you feel like this is magical moment. It's like that's all within yourself. It's not the mushroom. It is all within you. It's just a
Yes.
tool that is extracting this. And I think with a microdosing protocol, doing the journeys that I've done, it's like there's nothing better than being that. I'm completely obsessed with it. It's like I love sitting with my daughter when she's crying and when she's happy, when she's running around and doing everything. I want to be 100% wholly present.
Mhm.
And I think moving those dark clouds around and not letting they're little energy vectors,
Oh,
they,
no.
especially when they're babies, they don't know words, they know energy. And if I'm coming in with this
Yep.
dark energy, they're going to feel it. But when I'm happy and I've cleared those clouds, it's like they can feel that and you can see it. And it's like
Yeah.
it's a magical thing. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on
Okay. So what would you say to someone? Because I when we started this, you guys, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play total devil's advocate of like a listener that's listening in and that has all these questions. One, what if I get addicted? Can this be addictive? And
yeah.
then like I can't live without it? Like I'm really worried about that.
Yeah, they're completely non-addictive. They've done studies on it, like mushrooms. They almost like don't allow you to become addicted. I know I said this earlier on our first call. It's like there's a medical terminology. It's almost like they lose what they give you after like day 4 and 5. That's why you want to take days off.
Days off,
There's like
right?
a point, yeah, there's like a point of no return for the medicine to be like working in your body. It's like it'd still be present, but you're not going to get the impact. So if you ever see those like journeys that are like, we're going to have mushrooms 5 days in a row, it's like the day 4 and 5 are a complete waste. Your body, like, it's still going to ingest them. It's not going to harm you in any negative way, but you're not going to feel the benefits of it. So, 2 and 3 days
Right.
are perfect. But if you're taking them 5, 6, 7 days in a row, you're really just like wasting a tool that could be used for you later in the
Right.
future.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if someone was thinking, but is it really you, Blake, that's enjoying your daughters and fatherhood so much, or is it just the shrooms? Like, how do you know it's really you? And like, what does that mean when you're off of them then? Then do you feel differently about being a father and like all like then you're a different person? So you're only this person when you're on them. Well, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
double.
I don't do them all the time. When I was kind of in a really dark place, I was super adamant about staying on a protocol. But
Mhm.
there's weeks that I go without them, and I notice like if my fuse starts to get a little bit short, then it's like let's jump back in here. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm letting
Right.
that. It's a me thing. It's not a my kid thing. My kid is learning. It's my goal to teach her. If I'm being snappy with my wife, it's not my wife's fault. It's my fault. I'm letting other things get in the way of like what makes me the happiest. So I don't think it's the mushrooms. I think it's just understanding the intentions that I have throughout the day. It's you
Yeah.
have a bad conversation, and some people are just like, oh, screw that. I'm not ever going to think about it again. I'm a person that goes and takes a walk and like really thinks about how do I make sure that that doesn't happen again. And I think
Mhm.
that this utilizing psychedelics as tools to understand like how do I come at this with love. I know it's like that woo woo like hippie thing of like love is the answer, but like it ultimately is.
Yeah.
And when you really come to something like my daughter's she's crying because she's not feeling love from me. She's feeling attacked in some way. She doesn't know how to share. She's learning what emotions are. It's like if I raise my voice at her, she's, oh my gosh, does Papa not love me right now? It's like no, one thing that I tell her all the time. It's like I love you when you're happy. I love you when you're sad. I love you when
Yeah.
you're mad. And that's all the time. It's not there's no conditional love here. It's all unconditional. So
Right.
whatever you are, I'm going to love, and we'll work through anything. So
Right.
yeah, that's a long-winded
Yeah.
answer, but like
I no, but it was perfect.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
I personally think of it, and I don't know much about this stuff, you guys. I'm just here as like the vessel to get you information and the right people to help. I look at it as, like you said before, it's still me. I'm the one still doing the work and have to make the choices. This is a tool that's helping me shift my brain. I think we get into a position where we get so locked and so stuck from like our trauma and our triggers. And don't even get me started on childhood shit, like, and our brain forms in this way and then it gets like stuck there. And we try therapy, and we do all the things and we try to eat good and work out. And those are things that are super important. But there's some things that will just stay stuck unless you really dive in. And I feel like microdosing and what this has offered me, it's a way to like take that ball of like, this is just the way my brain is. And it's like, it's unraveling it. It's
yeah,
softening it. It's allowing me to look at things different and accept things in a different way. And that's me. That's me doing the work, you know?
mhm,
I feel like that'd be like someone saying, well, you're not really in shape, that's the weights doing the work. That's not really you. You only
yeah,
got that way because you lifted the weights. And it's like, no, that was a tool to get me here. It's still me.
yeah,
I still have to
yeah,
show up. Does that make
yeah,
sense? Am I making sense?
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. It's like you still have to show up for you, and this is a tool to help you show up for you. And to kind of explain, like extrapolate on what you just said, as Michael Pollan described it the best. He described psychedelics as like, and this is probably on a macrodose level, but I think microdosing does help this. It's you're getting neuroplasticity, and the best way to describe that is we're
Mm,
habitual creatures. Like we kind of have the
yes.
same patterns every day, right? And they can be good or they can be bad, but the mental ones are really tough to get over. And Michael Pollan explains it as like if you're sledding down a hill in the snow, you go a whole season, the sled is going to find its way back in the groove that you've gone down. It's really hard to go down like a new track of snow when you're at the top of the mountain. And
Mhm.
then psychedelics come in and it's like a fresh coat of snow. So you're still going to get from point A to point B, top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain, but you're going to go on a different route than you've been going down every single day. So exactly what you're saying is like, I'm kind of untangling the ball a little bit. Like that's
Yeah.
really what that neuroplasticity is doing. It's like it's grabbing onto your neurons, it's shaking them up, and it's giving you new perspectives. It's like I'm getting from A to B, but I might go in a little bit of a more rounded out way.
Right.
I might go at it a little bit of a happier place,
Right.
or get a little bit more creative. Yeah.
Forgive me if I already asked this or if you already answered it, but I just feel like it's coming back in my brain again because it's probably a big question for people. Are there side effects? Is there anything that we really have to worry about? Have you seen anything like I can't even think of anything because I haven't experienced anything and I haven't heard of anyone else. Maybe an upset stomach?
Some people have some upset stomach, like just feel
Okay.
a little bit of nausea.
But it
I
passes
don't
pretty quick though, right?
It passes pretty quick, and I think that that's just kind of like the growing process of some of them. I might be completely off on this, but we grow everything in like a completely organic. We don't use like a manure base, and I think that sometimes if you have like a not fully pasteurized product that grows in manure, that's where mushrooms
Oh,
love to grow. It might cause you a little bit of nausea. Not that like you're getting manure in your body or anything like that, but that might be derived from that. I don't really know. And I'm sure that, if you're taking like other supplements or other SSRIs, like that's one thing to lean into. You're not going to
mm,
feel things if you're on SSRIs. It might be kind of like spotty, hit and miss. As far as side effects, I don't really know of any. I know that, but I'm not a scientist. I'm not Johns
right,
Hopkins doing the work on
right.
this. And I'm also, I think that some of those really bad side effects where people can like get deep into something is taking a large dose. You go
Yeah.
do like a hero dose, a macro dose of something that might kind of throw you for a loop if you're already got some mental issues. And I think that that's really good to talk to people. That's why we want to point you in the direction of like the journey work. You can talk to somebody like Marcella about that. You can talk to
Right.
other individuals that work closely with understanding the kind of the brain chemistry, or even doctors. I feel like doctors are becoming very open to this stuff.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to know, like, for your product and how you grow it, and because I fully trust you guys, and I don't trust a whole lot of people with, like, even my
Yeah.
collagen and stuff that I take. What makes you different? What makes yours different than anything else that I could go get? I don't know, in a chocolate bar at a. That's the only place I
Yeah.
think of it, like a smoke shop. Like you can get like a
Yeah.
chocolate bar with it in or
Yeah.
something. What makes
Yeah,
yours different?
well, some of those chocolate bars I'd be careful about. Double Blind Magazine did a study on them. A large percentage of them don't even have mushrooms in them. They have like a 4-hydroxy DMT, which is like and I might be off on that, but it's like a synthetic psilocybin. It's not going to like hurt you by any means, but
Yes, I've
it's a
heard
different
about
compound.
that. I've
Yeah,
heard about the synthetic form
yeah.
of it, and it did not have good things to say about it.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of chocolates, of gummies. I'm very similar to you. I want everything to be third party lab tested, which our products
Yep.
are. We third party lab test every batch that comes out. They're grown really, really small batch. Like that is that like grown with love type thing. We always use the same exact strain. So we're working, the genetics are pretty close. It's not like we're just like compiling whatever we have left.
Mhm.
Everything is driven towards microdosing. So we have a natural lenses product that we use, psilocybin natural lenses, a little bit more energetic, a little bit more euphoric. I use that. I've microed probably 25 different strains. I love this one because most of the people that come to us are moms, their dads, they're running businesses. They need to go get their shit done. They need to be active members of society, and then they need to
Mhm.
come back home and like paint with their kids. They need to, do something that is an ask from somebody else. So it's like, how can I show up for myself and be productive all day, but then still have that fuse at the end of the day, lead with love at the end of the day, and just be happy. So it's always going to be the same strain. They're 100% fruiting body mushrooms. We give you 50 milligram, 100 milligram, 200 milligram options to kind of titrate that dose. I trust a lot of gummy companies. I trust a lot of chocolate companies, but like
Sure.
I've also been around the block with a lot of psychedelics. So it's like if I eat a chocolate piece and it kind of starts taking me off in a direction, I'm not freaking out. I'm like, I don't want to be here. This isn't what I signed up for. But like
Yeah.
the person that hasn't microdosed before, that is like, oh, I heard mushrooms are really awesome. You eat a chocolate bar square and all of your senses go from like an 8 to a 15, and you thought
Yeah.
that it stopped at 10, you're kind of freaking out. So
Yes.
that's why I think what sets us apart is like hopping on a call and understanding, have you done psychedelics before? Are you sensitive to other medication? Let's start with 50s. You can jump up to hundreds if you want to. We'll send you some samples to try. The last thing, like I said earlier, is like, I don't want to babysit anybody when they're at like in my, I guess in my house or anything like that. I don't want to babysit. I want people to
Right.
have fun. And the same thing is kind of true across the company. It's like, I want people to I've been the cannabis user that like ate a gummy, felt really good, and then ate a gummy the next day, and I'm driving in my car, and it's like I should not be driving a car. I should not be
Mhm.
here right now. So that's the last thing on earth that we want people to feel. We want people
Right.
to feel better in their day to day.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
So
love it. I'm so excited for this episode to come out. Like, you have no idea, because I know that our listeners and followers are just going to be like, oh my God, this is what I was looking for. I've heard about this before, but I didn't know where to go or who to turn to. So this is
yeah.
this is amazing.
Well,
And I love that you guys are parents too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's really helped us a lot. And I'm really excited to be here. It's fun to share, and the calls that you have to get into the company and to like to work with us, those are available all the time. So I tell people all the time, it's like if stuff's working, let us know. If stuff's not working, let us know. Some people just want to hop on and they don't feel comfortable talking to their friends and they want a 5 minute conversation of like, this is awesome. I love this.
Yeah.
Schedule calls. They usually are 15 or 30 minutes, but I think our call went like 45 minutes and then we hopped on a phone call after. So
Yeah.
it's like the time is completely open. It's we want to be here for customers and want to be here for people that are joining our community. They're not really customers, they're community.
That's cool. One thing I do
Yeah.
want to ask, because I think maybe this will help people once they start. How do you know if you should go up to 100? Like I'm at 50 milligrams. I feel like it's working. At what point should I try 100 or should I not?
I think it's really up to you. The goal of a microdose, as we were saying earlier, it's like you don't want to feel it. I equate it to a cup of coffee. You have a really productive day. You're not like, oh, damn, that cup of coffee really got me through. And the same thing, if you miss
Right.
coffee and you don't have a productive day, you're not blaming it on that. It's like
Mhm.
that cup of coffee is living in the back of your brain. It's just a nice piece of the morning for you, typically. Microdoses, they shouldn't be leading your day. They should be in the back of your brain. So, like, the following day when you're not on it, you look back and you go, "Oh, I did smile a little bit more. The person that cut me off in traffic, I wasn't yelling in my car. My partner asked me to get them something, or my kid was throwing a tantrum. I didn't like, oh, what's going on?
Right.
I had a long day too. It's just like, yeah, sure. What can I get you? So as long as that's happening, great. If you wanted to go up to hundreds and you have a little bit more fun when you go out or something like that, say you're going to see a show, you can titrate that dose up and just feel good. I will say that
Okay.
you're really far away from doing anything that's going to cause like psychedelic
Yes,
experiences
I think that's
or
a
like
good
change
point
your
to make.
perception.
You're
Yeah.
very far away from that with
Yeah.
microdosing, like
Yeah.
not
So if
even
you went to
close to
100, it's not like you have to worry about like, oh, today was great. Now I'm like things are
right.
coming out of the walls or something like that. That's not. I'm having that knocked up moment.
Right, right.
You're not
Yeah.
going to have that. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
very far away from it.
Yeah, very far
Yeah.
away, and
Yeah.
after the retreat, I'm glad that I went there to be able to see and understand what you're talking about
Yeah.
because it's not yeah, not even close to that. So,
Yeah, I think a couple things to like look into microdosing. It's like if you're looking to do a journey, microdosing could be awesome because it's going to help you build a relationship so that you can go into that journey with like real
mm,
intention and understand like once that little anxiety peak comes in, I'm like, I felt it a little bit before. I can now dive all the way in. And then the same thing that Marcella said to you, it's like you have the journey. Now I want to use this as a tool to integrate and to
right.
stay true to what I learned that week because that's the hardest part. It's like you go and you have a journey and now you found yourself at this retreat with seven other women and you feel so good and empowered and then you got to come back to real life. You got to come back to
Yes.
your normal problems. You got to open up your email. So this kind of helps you like, oh, they're like bumpers when you're bowling. It's like to keep you
Mhm.
on your lane.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it, yeah, because that
Yeah.
was tough. It was hard coming back and being like, "Oh, shit, I don't just to wake up and go do yoga in the middle of the jungle by a pool," and,
Yeah.
and I'm really glad that I had that to help me, integrate
Yeah.
back into real life. Blake, is there anything you wanna leave our audience with? Is there any last messages that you have or words of encouragement that come to mind that you wanna end on?
A couple things I would say I equate microdosing just to kind of put it all like wrap it all up in a bow
Yes.
is like a lot of people think that they're going to start microdosing and they're going to change and be like this completely new person. Like I'm going to start microdosing and my life is going to be better. It will be better, but you have to remind yourself where you're starting. I look at life as a kind of like a business, my personal self as a business, and it's most businesses are if you're growing 8 to 10% a year as a business, your shareholders and your board of directors are very, very happy. So people that come in and try to say, I'm going to change everything and I'm just going to be 100% better, you have to remind yourself that you're not a startup. You might have like some breakout years where you're going to get 15 to 20%, but 15% in business is considered rapid growth. So
Right.
like it's the same thing like you coach people in fitness. You're not going to go to the gym and see massive results in a week. You're not going to go and see them probably in a
Mm,
month. You're going to feel a little bit better, but use that same thing with microdosing, that same mindset. So understand, like, give yourself little quarterly breakdowns. Like, let's have a quarterly review of like, how do I feel after it's March. We already had everybody had their New Year's resolutions. We did this, all these like, this is how we're going to change our life. Well, March is a great time to check in and see how we're going to operate in Q2 and then
Yes.
Q3 and then Q4 and then our end of year roundup. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
And I would also say one thing that I really lean into right now is like the grass isn't greener. The grass is green where you water it. The grass is always green where you water it. So water yourself. It takes time, it takes effort. But if you water it, it's going to be good. And if you utilize the tools to water properly, you're going to be in a really good place. So it's like if you're
Yeah.
going out and getting the walks, you're working out, you're eating properly, you're starting to take these, you're getting into the microdosing, or even if you're not, I think that just like taking those little baby steps and then understanding that like 10% growth is still unreal. It's still really
Huge.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really good points. I'm so glad that you said all that. I'm glad I asked that if you had anything last, because that was perfect. Blake, how can they find you? How can they connect with you? We'll put everything in the show notes too, but is there any information that you want to give or social media or anything now?
Yeah, so we're meetmosaic.co. So meetmosaic.co. You can go there, you can schedule calls. We'll give you a
Okay.
referral code to jump in. So it's a little bit of a safeguarded site. You go meetmosaic.co, put in your info. You'll get a call scheduled with me or my wife, and then we'll get you a referral code to get in.
Oh,
We've got we've got Meet Mosaic on Instagram. And then very soon, get-goodness.com is going to be our mints. You can order our mints right now from our Shopify store on Instagram, but all the branding is going to be changing. Still same mint, but new
okay.
packaging.
New packaging, everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was get-goodness, you said?
Yep. Get-goodness.com.
.co? Oh, that one's a com. Okay, cool.
.com. Yep. And then hello, meetmosaic.co. Our email is hello@meetmosaic. So sorry about that.
I know. I
Meetmosaic.co.
do the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put everything in the show notes too. Make sure you guys check that out, because we will do like a code or something.
Yep.
We'll work something out, and that will all be in the show notes and everything too. Blake,
Yeah.
this was incredible.
We'll get a code for everybody that signs up where we can get a 10%
Okay.
discount. So yeah, we'll get that
Perfect.
over to you.
Perfect. This was just like amazing. I'm glad that we met. I'm glad that Marcella connected us. I'm glad that we had this discussion, and I really hope people listen and take the next step forward. Book a call and just like
Yeah.
see, if
Yeah.
it's a fit for you. I hope this, I don't know, eased everyone's mind a little bit more, because it's becoming a thing. Like, people are hearing more and more about microdosing and stuff. So I'm glad that we were able to add a little bit more education out there, and you were the one to
Yeah.
do it.
I really appreciate you having me on. It's awesome to chat, and yeah, book a call. Happy to chat.
Yes. Book a call, you guys. Thank you again, Blake. Check it out. Go to the website, go to the show notes. We'll put everything there for you. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time.
The Bomb Life podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The content shared here is not intended as medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any health, fitness, financial, or legal decisions. The opinions shared on this podcast are personal experiences and insight. So if you need expert guidance, go find the right professional for you. Thanks for listening.